Hey guys, how's it going? This is Josh, aka Outlaw Bebop, back again with another movie review. And today we are going to be reviewing Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is the 30th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as a sequel to 2018's Black Panther. This film stars Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Winston Duke, Tenoch Huerta Miha, and Angela Bassett. Essentially, this movie features the Wakandans dealing with the death of their king, but also how the rest of the world is dealing with the absence of the Black Panther, essentially, thus causing various nations to try to victimize the Wakandans and steal the vibranium from them, considering how important and potentially dangerous and powerful vibranium can be, but also how the lack of King T'Challa's protection over his country affects another nation, the Talokan, led by Namor, essentially telling Wakanda, hey, listen, you guys have to deal with your shit or else we're going to deal with it, and nobody's gonna like it when we deal with it. That's all I could really say about the movie without getting into too many details. But overall, we're going to talk about the things that I liked, things that I didn't like, and my final thoughts. So let's just get straight into it. On to the things that I liked. Overall, I must say that if you've seen any of the other films as well as the TV shows in Phase 4, we can say that for the most part, a lot of these properties have been lackluster. Nothing too crazy, nothing too jaw-dropping outside of one film, in my opinion, and that was Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I don't think I like this movie as much as Spider-Man No Way Home, but I must say, in comparison to the rest of Phase 4, the writing in this film is much better than anything else in this phase. The acting, the stakes, the tone, the cinematography, the sets, the costumes, everything is right there. Everything is taken and presented with respect and weight. The sets all look amazing, the costumes are all amazing, the weapons, like everything has and feels like there's weight to it. This is everything that I wanted the first Black Panther film to be, as well as, like I said previous, the rest of Phase 4. The characters of Shuri and Namor and the actors that portray them are handled amazingly. The character development of Shuri in this film completely undercuts any criticism I've had about the MCU when it comes to its female-led properties. And Shuri as a protagonist, like I said, man, I feel like Marvel has never really handled the women protagonists well until this movie. Shuri goes through a lot of loss, she goes through a lot of pain, she goes through a lot of suffering, and she comes out on the other side of it, not necessarily the type of character that you would expect. And it is a struggle from beginning to end. It doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel like this is a cakewalk. It feels like the world is against them, and it truly is. In terms of how they handled Namor and Atlantis and the culture surrounding that, I thought it was very interesting and very cool that they pretty much mixed it together with Mayan culture. It's not just Atlantis, it's actually Talokan. They changed quite a few things from the comics, but they did that in such a way that I feel like is very cool, inclusive, but not forced. Maybe that's why I'm giving this such high praise. Maybe, you know, my score might get a little lower as time passes, but at least in the moment, the reason why I have to give this movie all the credit in the world is because it's been such a while since we've seen Marvel do things seriously, and this felt very serious, and it was a breath of fresh air. If we could just swiftly transition into the things that I didn't like. When I'm watching a movie as long as this one, the last movie I remember watching that was incredibly long, I guess you could say, compared to other blockbusters and comic book movies, was The Batman. The difference was, while watching The Batman, I never felt bored, I never felt restless in my chair, I never felt like, maybe we should wrap up now. Lupita Nyong'o, she's in it a lot, don't get me wrong, but I wish they gave her more to do. And what she has to do in the movie isn't bad either, but Lupita Nyong'o is one of my favorite actors, and I wish, you know, they gave her much more to do, because I feel like she's great enough to handle a lot more than what she was given in the movie. Of course, there are a bunch of things that I feel like don't necessarily add up, but the reason why I'm willing to put a lot of my criticisms that I may have or nitpicks I have with the story in this film to the side is because of just everything else that I enjoyed about this movie. And I gotta say, I couldn't really think of what else they could do with this movie considering the circumstances, but the one that they made with this, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's the best movie in the MCU, and I'm not even saying it's the best movie in this phase, but it does so much better than its predecessor and its contemporaries that I have to give all the credit in the world to everybody involved in this movie. Overall, I think I would give this movie an 8 out of 10, maybe, you know, an 8.5, or it might even drop down to a 7.5 as time passes, or when I watch it again eventually when it releases on Disney Plus. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the movie in the comments section. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's have some arguments about this movie. And also, what was your favorite phase 4 MCU TV show or movie? And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.